Hello, Yifei He, your immigration and criminal defense lawyer. Today, I'll be talking about the recent protests on the college campuses as it relates to criminal charges for the students involved. In particular, I want to emphasize that if you're a student and you get arrested for these protests, the consequences can be severe and they can impact your future status as a student. The consequences are particularly severe if you are an international student. And as you know, I do immigration law, so a lot of my clients are immigrants. Everybody wants to come to the US. It's a great country. There's freedom of expression, there's First Amendment rights. But unfortunately, the law is not so loose with immigrants. If you're an international student and you're protesting on one of these campuses and you get arrested, an arrest alone can jeopardize your immigration status. The Department of State, the agency that issues visas to international students, have the ability to revoke, and that means cancel your visa just for an arrest, not for a conviction, but for an arrest. And I've done some outreach and I've spoken to a couple of individuals up at the Department of State, and they've told me that generally, when they consider whether or not to revoke someone's visas, they defer to the law enforcement agencies. And that means that if they receive information, adverse information from, say, for example, the police or the courts that you've been arrested, they have the discretion to revoke your visa. And what does revoke your visa mean? That means that if you travel outside the US, you can't even come back to fight your criminal case. So not only would you be guilty of a crime which you haven't even been adjudicated of a crime for, you would jeopardize your future as a student, as a successful student in the US. You would be unable to come back to fight your case, and you would have tons of problems down the road. You'd be disappointing everybody back home. So what I'm trying to get at is you have to be very careful as an international student on these during these protests, because you might think that you're joining the crowd. You might think that you're exercising your First Amendment rights. However, there are laws in place. There are dire consequences involved if you were to get arrested and if that information were to be transmitted to the authorities. If any questions, just contact me. I'm an immigration and criminal defense lawyer. If you have been arrested, if you're unsure of the consequences, or if you just have any questions regarding the situation, reach out. My contact information is posted, and I'll be glad to speak with you. Thank you very much.